Welcome to my channel. I am Sudhanya Sengupta. My topic is Up You Go. This is for class 5. Mountaineering Camp, Nehru Institution of Mountaineering Uttarkashi. As a leader in trekking, a big responsibility that is the help others in carrying their bags. Let the group go ahead and keep to the last. Help those who cannot climb properly find a good place to stop and rest. Look after those who are not well. On 22nd January 1984, we were the mountaineering camp and were very excited. 20 of us were teachers from Kendra Vidyalayas. There were other women from banks and other institutions. Here we can see a diary of a teacher at Kendra Vidyalayas. Today was the second day of the camp. In the morning, as I got off bed and put my foot down, I screamed a pain. I remembered yesterday's 26-kilometer walk with a heavy rucksack on my back. I was afraid to go bed to the steep climb and rough narrow path. 22nd January 1984, with tears in my eyes, I started walking slowly towards the room of Brigadier Gyan Singh, the director of our adventure courses. I was thinking of what I would say excuse myself from that day's trek. Suddenly I heard his deep voice from behind. I used my head and rushed back to get ready. I had just turned when I heard his voice again. Listen, madam, you will lead group number 7. You will have to help another people who has difficulty climbing the mountain. You have already been told about the responsibilities of a group leader in the mountains. Group number 7. Group number 7 included girls of Assam, Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya, and Nagaland. I was the only teacher from Kendra Vidyalaya in this group. I was happy to meet my new group member. Most of them could not speak Hindi well. I still feel bad that after being together for 21 days, I could not talk even once with Hondo B. Hondo B. from Mizoram. She spoke only Mizo, but in our hearts we grew close to each other. Crossing the river, we got vitamin C, iron tablet, and hot chocolate milk with our breakfast. These were given from strength and to keep warm in the cold. Every morning there would be a medical checkup. We tried out bandages and counted the days left. After an 8-kilometer trek, we reached a river. There was a track rope tied across the river from one bank to another bank. The rope was tightly fixed to pegs or pitons on both the sides. I was feeling nervous. I started thinking what would happen if the rope came out. I was trying to estimate how wide the river was. Crossing the river 5th February 1984. Our instructor tied a rope around his wrist and put a sling type of hook in it. He then put the sling on the thick rope tied across the river. Walking through the ice water, he went to the another side. No one was just ready to step into the fast forwarding river. Everyone was pushed each other to go fast. I stood at last in the line hoping that no one would see me. Just then other instructor came near me with a sling a rope on his hands. I knew there was no escape now. I was ready, but I did not have the courage. Sir could guess my fears. He called out loudly, "Three cheers of Sangita, ma'am!" And therefore I knew it someone had gently pushed me into the water. Crossing the river, part 2. I felt as if my feet was frozen. I started shivering, my teeth was tittering. I caught hold the rope and started putting my feet firmly on the river bed. As I walked further in, the river got deeper and slowly the water reached up to my neck. In the middle of the river, I lost my balance and started sleeping. I was no scared. I was so scared and felt so cold that the rope slipped from my hands. I started shouting for help. I was sure I would be carried away by the river. But no, I found that the tied with the rope to the sling, hold the rope, I could hear the shouts. I somehow managed to get hold the rope and pull myself forward. Slowly, with some courage, I reached the river bank. I felt a special kind of happiness as I came out of the river. Happiness on finishing a challenge task. Now, standing on the bank, I was calling out to the others to hold the rope tightly. I knew that his confidence was a result of the facing challenge with courage. Rock climbing 5th February 1984. We had to climb 15-kilometer reach Tekla village. It was a height of 1600 meters. Our, ra- our rucksack had all that we may need: food packets, water bottle, rope, hook, plastic sheet, diary, torch, towel, soap, wind cheater, whistle, glucose, jaggery, chana, and some other snacks. We could see fruits and vegetables growing into the stake fields. We saw the colonial ram sing, standing on the 90 meters high flat rock with pegs and ropes. Rock climbing. We had been told the first observe to the rock carefully and identify hold places where we can put our hands and feet. Today I was not going to back out. I stood first in the line. Our instructor tied rope around his wrist. He put the sling and held the thick rope which was hanging. He started climbing as if we was running up. I also put my sling, but as I took my first step, I slipped and there was I swinging from the rope. Keep your body at the angle of 90 degrees while climbing. I heard. Keep your back straight. Do not bend. Keeping this in mind, I imagined the rope for the flat ground and started to climb up. Again, while the coming down, we had used the rope in a special way is calling rappelling. I did this with a same fearlessness. A funny incident. It was evening. Khondobi was feeling hungry. We did not have anything to eat. She jumped over the fence and got into a field. She quickly plucked two big cucumbers and came back. Just then, a woman came from behind and caught hold of her bag. She started saying something to Khondobi and her own language. We could not understand what she was saying. Khondobi was trying to explain in her Mizo language, which he could not understand. I tried to explain in Hindi, but neither of them could understand it. Finally, we folded my hand and say that we are sorry. But then our group had gone far ahead. It was already dark. I thought we had lost our way. Now we were really scared. We could not see anything even with our torches. I started sweating even though it is cold. I tightly held Kondobi's hand. I called out loudly, "Where are you all? Can you hear me?" My voice echoed in the mountains. We both started with whistle loudly and flashed our torches. Probably the group had noticed that we were missing. We heard some whistle at the distance. I understood the signal. We held each other's hand tightly and waited. Kandabi felt that we could keep talking. She started singing in Mizo song loudly. After some time, we saw them coming towards us. At last, we were with the group again. A special guest in 15th January 1984. After dinner, we met a special guest, Bachendri Pal. She had just been selected as a part of the team to climb Mount Everest. She had come to seek the blessings of the Brigadier Gyan Singh. It was a very happy evening. We were all singing. Bachendri is also joined us in singing and dancing on the famous Pahari song Bedu Pako Bada Masa Kafal Pako Chaita Mary Chaila. At that time, we had no idea Bachendri would become a first Indian woman to reach Mount Everest and create history. We were standing at the height of 2,134 meters. We were the spend the night here. Everyone was busy to try and put up the tent. We used double layered plastic sheet for the tent and for the ground. The air between the layers would help to keep us warm. We put the pigs and began to put up the tent. As we tied to from one side, the wind blew the tent from the other side. After quite a lot of pulling and tugging, we managed to get the tent up. Then we dug a drain around the tent. Camp in the snow. We were feeling very hungry. We collected some firewood and stones to make a chula and cooked some food. After the meal, we collected all the waste in a bag to clean the campsite. Soon we got into our sleeping bag. I was not sure if I could be able to sleep in it. Would it be comfortable? Would I not feel good? But the bags were filled with soft feathers which helped in keeping us warm. We were all very tired, so very soon we fell asleep. The next morning, we wake up and found that it was snowing. White, soft, fluffy snowflakes were gently falling. Oh, it was beautiful. The plants, the trees, the grass, and the mountains. Everything looked white. Today we were the climb higher on 2,700 meter. We walked carefully on the snow with the help of the stick. It was difficult because we kept sleeping. By afternoon, we had reached snow covered mountains. We enjoyed throwing snowballs at each other and making a big snowman. Last day camp 21st February 1984. We were getting ready for the campfire. Each group presented a program. We were enjoying telling jokes and laughing, singing and dancing around the campfire. Soon it was midnight. Brigadier Gyan Singh got up and called me. I thought, oh no, what have I done this time? But when Sir announced my name the best performance award, I stood still. He blessed me and tears of joy rolled down my face. Now we are talking about Bachendra Pal. A 12-year-old girl living in the mountains was out of the school picnic. She climbed the mountain peak of 4,000 meters with her friends. The girls had done this for fun and adventure. Soon it was dark and they could not come down. It was also cold and scary. They were alone with any food and it was a long night. This happened to Bachendri Pal played when she was a young girl. Bachendri grew up in Nakuri village in the Garhwal area in Uttarakhand. When she grew older, she joined Nehru Institution of Mountaineering in Uttarkashi. Her guide was Brigadier Gyan Singh. Bachendri did a very well in her training. She started to train women in mountaineering course. In 1984, Bachendri was selected as a team member to climb the Mount Everest. Snowstorm. There were seven women in 18-member team. On the night of 15th May, the team was very tired after having reached the height of 7,300 meters. The team put up their tents and went to sleep. Around midnight, they heard a loud sound and then a bang. Before they were full of awake to tent, to flew off and something very heavy hit them. There was a terrible snowstorm. Bachendri was almost buried under the snow and was hurt on the head. Many of the team members were also injured. The others used snow picks and axes to dig out those who had been buried under the snow. The rest of the team members returned to base camp, but Bachendri went ahead, climbing slowly but steadily towards the peak. It was 7 minutes past 1 o'clock in the afternoon on 23rd May when Bachendri Pal stepped into the peak of 8,900-meter height, Mount Everest, also called Sagarmatha in Nepal. There was another team member with her. There was no space for two people to stand on the top of the same time. One slipped and another they would fall straight down thousands of the feet below. Bachendri and her team met dug into the snow and pitched their axe firmly in the ice, using this as a hook. They tied themselves with a rope. Only then two of them could stand there. She was shivering with the cold but filled with a warmth and of achievement. She bowed her head, pitched the national flag, and took the photographs. She spent 43 minutes on the highest peak in the world. Bachendri Pal became the first Indian woman and fifth woman in the world to reach to pick the mountain Mount Everest. Thank you so much. I hope you all enjoyed this lesson. Please keep watching. Please subscribe my channel and have a nice day.